Welcome and thank you for joining us. My guest today is Sankar Venkatraman, a global evangelist at LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Sankar, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure here meeting with all the FNN audience. Thanks for having me, Drew.
Absolutely. So, in the federal recruitment space, there's a lot going on right now. Agencies are facing several different competing priorities. So, for example, the Office of Personnel Management recently came out with a new merit hiring plan, as they call it, and that outlines a bunch of new expectations for agencies to streamline their hiring processes. At the same time, competition with the private sector is growing to hire employees who have these really critical tech skills. So I want to ask Sankar, from your perspective, how can agencies modernize their recruitment strategies to both position themselves well in this competition with the private sector, while also at the same time staying on top of all these changing expectations from OPM?
So, at the highest level, Drew, if you look at what the merit hiring plan really is trying to achieve, is kind of four things. One is prioritize skills first hiring. The second is how do you enhance the quality of hire, really bringing the best talent that is there to the federal workforce. Elevate candidate experience. This whole goal about 80 days to complete a hire. It's all about providing a candidate the visibility into where they are in the process and what's happening into the application and to complete this hire within the 80 days. And lastly, make federal agencies an attractive place of work. And these are kind of almost the thematic elements that the corporate sector or the non-federal sector have been doing it for years in different ways. And it's for the opportunity to put this on paper of the merit hiring plan to kind of compete with the non-federal, the corporate environment. So if you look at LinkedIn Talent Solutions, our goal is really to help you plan for the talent you need, regardless of which agency is hiring. Understand the talent and the skills you have and the skills you want. So this is all the move towards skills first hiring. And then being able to attract the talent using LinkedIn as the platform, using the various modalities, whether it's a career page or the live tab or the LinkedIn events to kind of attract the talent. And also, this aligns with one of the pieces about the merit hiring plan, which is how do you actually find the best talent who want to work and contribute and feel this kinship with wanting to contribute in the federal space. And finally, upskill and reskill through LinkedIn Learning. And that's kind of the broad thematic elements of how the merit hiring plan kind of aligns with what LinkedIn offers. So I think it's almost like selfishly, you feel like it's all a reverse logic of what LinkedIn is doing and how do we kind of bring it into action within the federal agencies.
Awesome. I also want to ask you about the role of AI in recruitment right now. Of course, it's very clear that AI and automation are changing the way that work gets done. And that, of course, includes how work gets done in the federal government or in the federal sector. So, what strategies do you think federal agencies can use to both anticipate and then adapt to shifting job functions based on AI? And beyond that, too, how can agencies use external data or other sources from the labor market to make better internal workforce decisions?
The first part is AI is in the service of humanity. So there is some big question about is AI going to take away our jobs, etc. AI is just another tool in the evolution of the human elements and human curiosity of wanting to have a tool that make our everyday job easier, whether it's all the way back to the Stone Age, to the fire, to the wheel. It's all the element of is it in the service of the humans who want to do this? So with that context, what AI kind of initiates us to do is to rethink how work is done. And so it's not AI just as a tool, but as people, how do we embrace it? Which means the element of how we do work needs to change. And then being able to adapt to this change management. So that's the program and the process that need to do. So it's not the product, quote unquote, AI, it's the people. How are the people going to use the AI and the process, which is how are people who are doing the work today stop doing some of the drudgery work and have the confidence to offload this to AI to do this. And every corporation, every entity, federal agencies will have to go through these motions as well, not dissimilar to how the federal government moved on from the days when internet kind of made this big inroad into kind of the automation, digitization of everything. Now, the second part of your question, how is kind of this data helping us inform, especially the agencies in the marketplace? Again, for this, come back to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn at the highest level is a member-based network, which truly is a marketplace. If you look at it as a marketplace of a hirer and a seeker. The hirer are the various federal agencies, and the seekers are the members who are coming to the platform to look for a job. We understand both of these two entities at scale in a very granular way. So if you look at the hirer, let's say a federal aviation agency or the Department of Defense and looking for cybersecurity experts, we know what they exactly want. And on the member side, because they confide in the platform as part of the LinkedIn member profile, we know what the members are looking for. We match these two at scale with AI. And we have been doing this for 18 plus years, and federal agencies have been using a product to find the best talent. The element that has grown since is we now grow our platform at 7 members every single second. And there are 5 million updates that happen every minute. These define our movement of intellectual capital, human capital, and working capital. And this allows us, with products like LinkedIn Talent Insights, to share with the decision makers, the hiring managers, the HR leaders, in terms of what are the emerging trends, what are the emerging skills, who are the skills, where are the skills located, what do they want to do? What are the aspiring growth that the new members who want to be part of the federal agencies looking to build? We have all of this data, and this is the real true gold mine that we want to share, and we already are sharing with several of the federal agencies and also obviously with millions, hundreds of thousands of customers globally.
Speaking of data too, data along with cybersecurity and just technology more generally are really rapidly changing at the federal level. I would say not just in the federal sector, but just the workforce overall. But for the federal sector specifically, how do you think agencies can make sure that their employees, regardless of their job function, where they are in their career, how can they make sure that their employees are both interested and able to build the skills that they're going to need for a stronger cyber or tech posture in the federal government overall?
It's a phenomenal question. And one of the advantages or the benefits of being at LinkedIn, what we know is what's happening at a macro trend. And one of the trends we are seeing is, I'll share a couple of trends. One is 70% of the skills will change in the next 5 years, obviously accelerated with AI and generative AI. So the skills you have today would be pretty significantly different 5 years from now. The second is the half-life of a skill is 4.5 years. So theoretically, somebody who's going to the conventional way of going to the university, getting a 4-year degree, 50% of the skills that they learn are no longer relevant. So this, again, aligns with something with the merit hiring plan that the federal government has put out with skills-first hiring, which is you hire for a passion for continuous learning. And that is the one thing that's going to stick, whether it's, again, the corporate sector or the federal government, which then mandates, almost requires organizations like the federal agencies to not just be a place of work, but also nurture a place of continuous learning. So if you talk about cybersecurity technology, some of the really cutting edge technologies, they are moving at a faster pace than some of the traditional technologies in the past, which means the only way you can stay up front, on top of it is by actually leaning into this culture of learning. So LinkedIn Learning, because again, we have on the platform understanding what are the growing skills, what are dying skills. We use that data to predict and promote the skills that any particular manager would want to recommend for their employees. Any particular employee wants to change a career, want to learn. Any particular employee wants to make a career shift can learn. So cybersecurity is a great example. I was talking to one of the leaders of the Department of Defense at one point, which is about a year ago, and they mentioned they were looking to hire 250,000 cybersecurity experts in just the Department of Defense alone. And honestly, you cannot manufacture 250,000 cybersecurity experts, especially at the scale in which the federal government wants to hire. The best way is to offer these as opportunities of continuous growth for the employees that already exist or the employees try to bring on board into the organization. So tremendous opportunity, but again, having this shift in mindset of potential over pedigree, which is kind of one of the ethos of what the merit hiring plan is designed for, is really designed to help in that direction.
Great. Well, Sankar, I love that you brought it back around to that OPM merit hiring plan. Unfortunately, we're out of time today, but thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Same here, Drew. Such a pleasure and good luck. And you know where to find us on LinkedIn.com. Cheers, everyone.
Sankar Venkatraman is a global evangelist at LinkedIn Talent Solutions. I'm Drew Friedman, and you're watching Federal News Network. Now we'll go back to the studio for more on Workforce Reimagined.